So this week we are talking about crimes that have to do with fast food.
AKA fast food killings.
And this is one of those episodes where neither one of us know what the other one is doing.
Oh, yes.
So that is
Disclaimer.
like really exciting. Yeah. Also, disclaimer, if you hear our uncle Brad mowing in the background, I apologize because I'm at my mom's and he's mowing the yard for my mom, which is nice.
He's a great brother and uncle, but 'tis the season for cutting grass.
Mom calls him her brother husband because he does all of this stuff for her.
Her brother husband. I mean, just be careful. People might think y'all live in Alabama.
Nope, just Southwest Virginia.
Oh, don't put that on our town. We good folk.
Yeah. Oh, you want to hear something funny speaking of Southwest Virginia?
Yep.
So first of all, I was driving to my dad's the other day and there's like this intersection and I was stopped there at a red light and this literally the only red light in town. This truck drives by. I'm just sitting there chilling and I look and there's the truck's hauling like a love seat in the back and there's a guy sitting on the love seat just chilling like it's everyday life, like it's a regular thing to just be on the back of a truck on a love seat.
Like he came with the love seat?
Yeah.
Like they just picked him up and put him on the truck, loaded it up?
Yeah. Probably found him on Facebook Marketplace. Like, I don't know. But I was sitting in my cars by myself and I just busted out laughing.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I was like, man, I wish I had like a dash cam. Cause, well, you know, it surprised me to the point where I started laughing, but it didn't surprise me because I'm like, this is shit I see like all the time in Southwest Virginia.
Well, since you're saying funny shit, here's a little funny story. Josh and I go to lunch the other day and we go to Jersey Mike's and we walk in and there's a whole table of like 10 cops for the county that we work in and they're eating lunch. And we get our food and we sit at a table that's kind of like adjacent to them so we're like kind of close to them. And Josh looks at me and he's like, turn around and look at that one cop's water bottle. Because a cop had a water bottle with stickers all over it. And I turn and I look and he has like a highway interstate sign. But it says Interstate 420. And I just started dying. Yes. And I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. Ha ha ha. And then Josh is like, Sweetwater 420, it's a beer. And it's made in Atlanta. And I was like, oh, but it is funny. Like,
not my first thought.
Yeah, I thought weed. Yeah, but I thought that was funny.
It's pretty funny because I immediately thought of weed too.
Me too, and I was like, what a cool cop. And then I was like, oh wait.
Yes. Okay.
We're back and we're drinking Buzzballs and it's fast food killings episode time. Let's go.
I'm Nina.
Shit, I'm Andrea. I was taking a sip of my Buzzball.
And this is Cults, Crimes, and Spirits.
What?
Buckle up, buttercups.
Oh, I like that. All right, so here we are. Fast food chaos number 1. It's July 4th.
I'm excited.
Oh, you better be. There's fireworks happening. But it's a pizza delivery gone wrong. So, in 1982, a call comes in at a Domino's in Salem, Oregon. Shout out Salem, witchy shit.
It's Oregon, not Massachusetts.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Shout out Oregon for legalizing everything. Not just weed, everything.
Murder?
No, drug-wise, not murder.
Is that everything?
Like shrooms, heroin, coke, everything's legal, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, we're in Salem, Oregon. This caller asked for 3 large pizzas, and then he had a weird order for it to be delivered by a certain girl that drove the orange Volkswagen.
Red flag.
Yeah. He had claimed that she delivered his pizzas in the past, and that's why he wanted her to do it again. But there was a problem. She wasn't working that night.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So 18-year-old Sherry Irely drove off at 9:40 p.m. with the 3 large pizzas in her car to deliver it to this person. But there was another problem that arose. The address that she was given did not exist.
So where did she end up?
Well, according to a 1982 report by the Statesman Journal, witnesses discovered her delivery car in an isolated spot near the Willamette River. Some kids had just been setting off fireworks near that area, but Sherry's car was still running and the headlights were still on. There was also a stack of stepped-on pizzas and a delivery cap, which is assumed to be part of her Domino's uniform, and it was found nearby as well.
Mm-hmm.
In 2007, 25 years after, police got a guilty plea in Sherry's case. According to Marion County Cold Case Squad, serial killer William Scott Smith had been previously...
Spit it out.
I have dry mouth. I need to take a sip. Serial killer. Serial killer William Scott Smith had been previously sentenced to life for the 1984 kidnapping and murder of 21-year-old Circle K clerk Rebecca Ann Darling and 18-year-old college student Catherine Iona Redmond. He would also later confess to the 1981 murder of 22-year-old Terry Monroe.
Good grief.
So he liked to target women. Smith told police he strangled Sherry and then he dumped her body into the Little Pudding River. He also did confess to targeting the women in the orange Volkswagen. So he was like, yeah, I was trying to kill her, but she wasn't there.
Well, I mean, good for her, but then this other chick got killed instead.
I know, which sucks. But he also had an accomplice, Roger Nosif, who died in February of 2003. But as a part of his plea deal, Smith was sentenced to an additional life sentence for the murder of Sherry in 2007. So he got another life sentence for killing her. And at least he came forward about it.
Yeah, because, where it was a cold case, no one ever really wouldn't have known what happened.
Exactly. But yeah, that's it for the Domino's 4th of July chaos murder.
All right, so in Speedway, Indiana, one November night in 1978, 4 very young employees of a fast food chain called Burger Chef were closing up the restaurant for the night. Now, I'd never heard of Burger Chef, so I had to look it up. Apparently, it was a chain of restaurants, but they all closed in the 1980s. And I don't remember if it was Hardee's or McDonald's or some company like that ended up I think buying them out. So this is why we've never heard of them, because we were born in the 90s.
Yeah,
but
makes sense.
Burger Chef, it was a chain similar to McDonald's and all the other ones that are out there. So that night, another coworker decided to drop by the restaurant to help them close up, and I'm sure they were all friends and hang out, And when the coworker got to the restaurant, they found the restaurant completely empty, and the back door was just left open.
Weird.
And his coworkers were nowhere to be found.
Yeah, red flag.
Yeah, these employees were very young, so obviously the police get called and they start trying to find them pretty quickly. So the employees were Ruth Shelton, who was 17, Daniel Davis, who was 16, Mark Flemons, who was 16, and Jane, sorry if I'm butchering this because I'm not good with names, Friedet?
You did your best. That's all that counts. It matters. Whatever.
Yes. And I also believe Jane was the assistant manager, and she was 20. So she was the oldest, but I mean, they're all 20 and under.
Yeah,
come on.
That's young.
So it wasn't just the employees who were missing. Over $500 in cash was also missing, as well as Jane's 1974 Chevrolet Vega.
Uh-oh, car's gone.
Her car was found later the following morning, about 1.5 miles away, abandoned. Now, initially it was thought that maybe the teens had stolen the money and took off altogether like it was planned or something. At least that's what they hoped, because it's better than thinking the worst, right?
Mm-hmm.
But get this shit. So they don't know what happened. Everything's very weird. But according to the Indianapolis Monthly, police allowed the restaurant to reopen the very next day.
Why? They didn't care?
I mean, they cared, but I mean, they didn't think like...
crime scene?
They weren't sure if it was a crime scene. They were like not sure if a crime had actually been committed other than like maybe stolen money, because they thought the teens might have just took it. Well, that kind of contaminated the crime scene that they didn't know was a crime scene. So that wasn't good. But 2 days later, it became very apparent that it should have been held as a crime scene when the search for the missing employees sadly ended, as hikers 20 miles away from the restaurant found all 4 bodies.
No.
Yes. So Ruth and Daniel were found lying side by side. They were killed execution style, each taking a .38 caliber bullet to the back of the head.
That's brutal.
Right. So Jane must have been trying to flee because she was found a few yards away from Ruth and Daniel, and she had been stabbed twice with some sort of hunting knife. And they know this because the handle of the knife must have broke off and it was missing, but the actual blade was still like stuck in her chest.
Oh.
It is believed that Mark also tried to flee, but unfortunately he didn't make it either. And he had like some sort of blunt force trauma to the head, and he was apparently bludgeoned to death with some sort of chain, and he died from basically choking on his own blood.
Oh, that's brutal too. God, all of those ways.
Like, honestly, the bullet to the head would have probably been the
easiest, fastest,
the best way to go. Even though that's quite awful too. At least it was probably quick.
Yeah.
The other two, not so much. All 4 of the employees were still wearing their Burger Chef uniforms. I'm telling you, if I had to go, I wouldn't want my last day on Earth, my last hour even, to have been spent at my job.
No.
These people, that was the last thing they were doing. Was at their job.
Oh, and then they died. Gosh.
Yeah.
But does anyone know why this happened?
So, no arrests were ever made. However, a few years after the murders happened, an inmate named Donald Wayne Forrester, who was 34, and he had just been sentenced to like 95 years for an unrelated crime. I believe it was a rape of a woman, and he had also, I think, previously raped someone before and been convicted, so that's probably why he got such a harsher sentence on the rape the second time around. But
stop raping people, buddy.
Well, his life was already over. He had 95 years. So at that point, he was getting ready to get transferred to like, I think, either a harsher part of the prison that he was in or another prison. I'm not sure. He was getting ready to get transferred somewhere. And he wanted to make a deal because he didn't want to go to wherever they were going to send him. And so he decided he was going to confess and tell police what happened. Well, the detectives went out to talk to him, and they were skeptical. They're like, maybe he's just trying to cut a deal, but he's not really the guy. But apparently he told detectives things that only somebody who was there would know, because not everything had been released to the public at the time. And so they were believing him. It caught their attention. And Forrester reportedly told the detectives that Jane's brother James owed them money, him and his associates, from a drug deal.
Okay.
And apparently her brother had some kind of record, so it kind of checked out. He had been into drugs and stuff, so it made sense. So her brother owed him and his associates money, and they went there to threaten Jane to, like, I guess, scare her brother. Like, she would go back and be like, oh, these people showed up at my work and they want their money, That was probably the thought behind it. Well, While they were there, unexpectedly, young 16-year-old Mark decided to step in to protect his coworker Jane. Things apparently went south, and Forrester told police that they ended up getting into a fight outside of the restaurant with Mark, and allegedly he fell and hit his head on the bumper of their van or whatever vehicle they had, and that could have possibly caused Mark's blunt force trauma to the head, which made sense.
Mhm.
And they thought that Mark was dead, and they were like, we're gonna get in trouble for this. So they ended up kidnapping all of them and taking them and killing them.
Wow.
So that they couldn't tell anybody that they were there. Yeah, so apparently that's what he told police. Not sure if that's really what happened, but it makes sense.
Reason.
And apparently Mark wasn't even dead because, like, I think they ended up, like, I guess, beating him some more with a chain where he ended up choking on his own blood. So that's even more messed up. Like, they thought he was dead, and then he wasn't dead, and then they all end up being dead.
All over a drug deal gone wrong.
That didn't even have anything to do with them.
That's the fucked up part.
It was Jane's freaking brother. Yeah. Supposedly, allegedly. So, the detectives also ended up tracking down Forrester's ex-wife. And, first of all, I don't even know how he had a wife, period, because he had been convicted of raping someone before, and then he raped someone else.
Person.
I'm sorry, if you're convicted of rape...
Multiple rapes?
I'm not interested.
Even one rape, but multiple rapes? Hell no.
According to Indianapolis Monthly, his ex-wife ended up telling detectives that days after the murders, Forrester had taken her to a wooded area where he left her in the car while he retrieved three or four shell casings. She said he took them back to their house and flushed them down the toilet.
Wow. Very sneaky, Forrester. Very sneaky.
Sneaky snake.
So sneaky. Oh, speaking of snakes. Oh.
What?
I was getting in my car to leave, and Josh is getting in his car, and he yells at me, and he's like, look, snake. And one of our new coworkers is picking up a snake that's like...
Today? This happened at work today.
Yeah, and throwing it into the woods. And I was like, no, throw it in the road. I'll run it over. But the whole ride home, I was like, oh, is there a snake? There's snakes around. Oh, they're fucking long. That shit was long. Oh my god.
That's how I am with spiders. But, anyways. So you want to know what the detectives did?
What I do, though.
They got themselves a warrant to search the septic tank.
What the fuck kind of...
Southwest Virginia, my friend.
You meant to say them got themselves a warrant. Them there got themselves a warrant down yonder in the holler, and they got themselves search them that house down there.
That sounds more like Southwest Virginia.
Well, yeah,
I love Southwest Virginia.
Me too. I'll be there this weekend. What up? What up?
Yeah, I can't wait.
We got the rental car today.
Yeah.
What up? What up?
Mom was telling me, but we absolutely love where we're from. Where they're from.
We love where they're from.
We love where we're from. Represent Southwest Virginia is the best. We make fun of it because we're
from it.
Very country, and we're from it. We have fun with it.
We're from it.
But
we make fun of it.
So, yeah, them detectives got themselves a search warrant. I didn't know you could get a search warrant. I mean, I guess you can get a search warrant to search anything, but I just never thought of a septic tank.
Oh, yeah, that's a little weird, but...
A little gross, but, they searched the septic tank in freaking August. Yeah. Hot weather. And they dug through gallons upon gallons of raw sewage to find these .38 caliber shell casings they were looking for. And it was a success. They did find them.
But good gosh, at
in
what
gallons
cost?
Of shit.
At what cost?
But even though they did their due diligence, their case fell apart when someone leaked details of Forrester's confession. Basically, once they leaked information, whoever their mole was, whoever leaked it freaked Forrester out so bad because he had other associates, other people that he was going to implicate in these crimes with him. And so he ended up recanting his confession entirely. Like, he took everything back.
That's no bueno.
Yeah, so really, without his confession, they didn't really have enough evidence to prosecute him.
Well, that sucks. That's shitty.
So even though he was probably their guy, seems pretty freaking likely, knowing details that wasn't shared, finding those casings and shit, right where the ex-wife said they would be, I really feel like he was the guy. But no one ended up getting arrested for this case, which is so sad.
That is sad because people died.
Also, speaking of people dying, literally the day after these teens went missing, right? They went missing on November 17th, 1978. Well, on November 18th, 1978, you know what that day was? The Jonestown Massacre.
Woo.
Yeah. If you never heard of the Jonestown Massacre, go check out episode 31 of our podcast. We talk all about Jim Jones and the People's Temple.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid. The Flavor Aid.
The Jonestown Massacre occurred in Guyana, in the jungles of Guyana, when over 900 people died because of mass suicide, mass murder, whatever you want to call it. It was tragic. A third of the 900 people were children who were definitely forced to drink the Flavor Aid. The reason I'm bringing this up is because Jim Jones and the People's Temple originated in Indianapolis, where this case takes place. And some of the people that ended up in Guyana and dying in the jungle were from Indianapolis. So this area was suffering from like these missing kids that they end up finding murdered. And then the Jonestown Massacre that
a lot
happened like all right within days of each other. So it was very tragic and very hard time for the people.
And it's crazy how that, like, coexists.
Yeah, because we've covered that, and
Yeah.
I was like, no way. I felt like that's crazy. But yeah, that is the Burger Chef murders.
So, I know you talked about Burger Chef. I'm going to talk about another burger place that we all probably know too well. They got 4 for $4s.
Oh, Wendy's.
Hell
That's all you had to say. I love their 4 for $4s and their 5 for $5s.
And now they're like, biggie bags are like, depending on what you order, it depends on the price type shit.
Yeah.
But this one is 5 Wendy's employees shot execution style.
Oh my gosh, I have not heard of this.
Okay. Well, it was around midnight on the night of May 24th, 2000, at a Wendy's in Queens, New York.
Queens.
Yeah, Queens.
Makes me think of The King of Queens. Is that the show with Kevin James?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, we're in Queens, New York.
What was that accent?
I was trying to be New York, but I don't know how. Anyways, the manager's voice comes over the intercom. All employees on duty are required to attend a meeting in the restaurant's back office. So the crew, who consists of, I'm going to butcher these, just throwing it out there, Ramon Nazario, 44, Ali Abatat, 40, Anita Smith, 23, and Jeremy Maley, 19, along with 2 other coworkers that are unnamed and unaged. They all gather around and walk into the back office of the 27-year-old manager, Jean August. When they realized the manager was not alone, there stood Craig Godnall.
Yeah, Craig.
There was Craig, age 30, and John Taylor, age 36.
He's just like, I'm skipping the name.
It's like God knew. It's God with an I and then Neaux.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Godnox?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Godinox.
But anyways, Craig
yeah.
and John were in the office with the manager and all the employees that just walked in for this meeting that was called. So John, there's the mower. Disclaimer, just letting y'all know.
Yeah, I hear it. He's getting closer to this side of the house.
So John was a former employee who left his job under suspicion of theft. But now he was back, and he was armed with a pistol to rob the Wendy's.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So he made that guy, like, call the employees back there for a meeting because he was, like, planning on robbing the place?
Yeah. So guess what?
Oh.
The robbers proceed to bind and gag the 7 employees with duct tape. This is reported by the New York Post. The employees were forced into the walk-in fridge where Craig and John shot each of them execution style, according to a taped confession. So manager Gene and employees Ramon, Ali, Anita, and Jeremy all were murdered. One of the badly injured employees had just began working at the Wendy's 2 weeks before this happened. They had managed to get free, though, and help pull the other survivor out of the walk-in fridge, and they got them out of there, and they went to call for police. This is per the New York Times. So Craig and John ended up getting a whopping $2,400 in total from this robbery. And killing
5 people.
Yeah, like, for that amount. Are you kidding me? Anyways.
Like, that's what I don't get. You rob these places. Like, I can hear the damn lawnmower.
I know, me too.
Sorry. You rob these places and you don't get shit. Like, it's not worth it. Like,
no, like, wow, $2,000 and you took 5 people's lives. And you injured 2 people and probably scarred them so bad for the rest of their life.
Like, if you're gonna rob, not to say that you should rob anywhere, but if you're gonna rob a place, like, be smart about it and rob, like, at least make it, like, you're gonna get this huge heist of, like, $1 million or something. Like, if it's under $1 million, like, I'm not getting out of bed for that.
Like, if you're planning on murdering somebody, it better be something where you're gonna get a lot. Not $2,000 fucking dollars. That's probably, like, they probably kept 1,000 something in each drawer.
I mean, none of those places, I don't know if, like, people just don't understand that, but, like, gas stations. There's this one gas station where we're from. It's, when I was in high school, it got robbed, I think, 3 times.
Damn.
And I think twice by the same person.
No way.
Like, he didn't learn the first time. Yeah, they don't have a lot of money. Like, they purposely don't keep a lot of money.
Yeah, for that reason.
Like, you're gonna get caught robbing these type of places, and you're not gonna get away with that much money.
Especially if you murder people.
Yeah. Like, is your life, like, is $2,400 worth throwing away your life? Like, no. $1 million? Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. Like, don't do it. But
never.
I'm just saying.
Never.
Like, make it worth it. Like, if you're gonna do it. I mean.
Always make it worth it.
Yeah.
But, in the trail.
You said trail. Did you mean trial?
Yes. Yes. In the trial, the 2 of them were both found guilty of murder. John Taylor was sentenced to death, and Craig Gotti Knox was he had mental disabilities, so he was sentenced to life in prison but not death. But John's sentence was commuted, which means the death penalty was thrown out, to life in prison back in 2007. Months after the massacre happened, family and friends of all the victims gathered together at the Queen's Botanical Gardens to plant a cherry tree in honor of each of their loved ones. And that's that. That's the 5 Wendy's execution-style murders.
That's sweet that they planted a
cherry
tree.
Trees, yeah.
All right, so my next story is I called it the cold fries.
No one likes cold fries.
Like, where's your favorite place to get fries from?
Oh, it's hard because I like all kinds of different fries. It depends on the type of fry.
I like Pal's.
I do like their seasoning, and I do like them when they're fresh. The problem with Pal's is every time I come, I get fries and like a burger, but I don't eat it until we get to Mama's house, and that's like 30 minutes later. It feels like. So
you need to start eating the fries
when they're hot
as soon as you get them.
Yeah, they're good
because they're so good hot. They're not as good heated back up. They're fries, but McDonald's has good fries. I really like getting fries from McDonald's. And
yeah, but they're not real.
Story. Wait, what?
Yeah, they're not real. Their potatoes aren't real.
What do
They
you
don't
mean?
mold. They don't change color. Like you've seen the people that leave the fries in the car for like a year or in a bag, and they look the same.
True.
It's weird.
But maybe it's just because of all the crap they like preservatives or something. I don't know. It was like one time I left. I kid you not. Me and Drew got like a pack of like, I don't know what the brand was, but it was like sliced American cheese that's, wrapped in individual
like Kraft
papers. We got, like Kraft, but I don't know if it was Kraft. Yeah. Like it was one of them, but yeah, like that, like the singles cheese. And it fell out of the bag, and we didn't realize that it fell out of the bag, and it was in my car in my trunk for probably like 2 months. And we just still didn't even realize it. I guess we thought we like forgot to buy cheese. Like I could have sworn we bought it.
Don't tell me.
I finally found it. No, I finally found it in my trunk like 2 months later, and it was like in the summer. So it should have molded and stuff, but it did not.
Yeah, that's
no. It looked
I don't want to do that. I don't want to eat
perfectly
that
fine. Yeah, we didn't eat it. Obviously, we threw it away because it's been in my trunk for 2 months. But
I don't even want to eat that cheese anymore. That's weird. But McDonald's fries do that too. But yeah, let's get into this cold fries.
The cold fries. This story actually takes place in Georgia near you.
What city?
Kennesaw.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So, a Georgia man named Antoine Sims placed a call to Kennesaw police to express his concern over receiving cold fries from a local McDonald's.
Okay, he's upset.
Well, when police arrived at this McDonald's, they discovered that Antoine had a warrant for his arrest.
An upset man over cold fries, and he got a warrant for his arrest.
Yeah, he had a warrant.
So why are you calling the police, you dumbass?
Exactly. So I guess he thought when they got there, they just wouldn't, like, question him at all. But also, like, you're calling 911 over cold fries and to complain about this McDonald's.
Yeah, so come on, get it together, bro. Get it together.
Yeah, you're misusing 911. So, like, they could charge you for that right there, whether you don't have a warrant or not.
Exactly.
Well, when they put in his name, they find out that he has a warrant. And it's not just a warrant. It's a warrant for freaking, like, murder.
What?
Yeah. So Antoine at this point asks if he's under arrest, to which the police officer responds, yes. And then Antoine gets all mad and he's like, I called the police. Like, what? Why are you arresting me?
Because you have a warrant for murder, dumbass.
Yeah, he says, well, you shouldn't do that if you have a warrant. Like, you shouldn't call the police if you have a warrant.
You should probably stay away from us.
There's video on this out there if you want to look it up. I'll try to post a link in our show notes as well. And after this, after he realizes he's caught, he's getting arrested, Antoine takes off and police give chase. And they end up catching him about 20 minutes later. They tase his ass in some nearby apartment complex parking lot. And it turns out that Antoine was one of 3 people charged in a 2018 murder of, I believe, a 21-year-old woman. And according to WSB TV,
Channel 2 Action News.
Yeah, Channel 2. Sims was accused of actually driving the woman's dead body to a Lawrenceville subdivision and lighting the car on fire while the body was inside. The woman who was killed was with some friends, and they were reportedly buying some weed from Antoine when gunfire broke out and the woman was killed. So I think
that's not funny, but oh my god, they just went to go get some weed.
Yeah, and I'm like, so I don't know if he actually killed her or if he was just charged with like helping get rid of the body after the fact. I don't know how the gunfire broke out or why gunfire broke out.
Accomplice to murder.
Yeah.
That'll get you.
Anyways, he was reportedly released on like a $275,000 bond. Damn. And he skipped his court date and thus the warrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about them cold fries, Antoine? Hope you don't drop them. Well, you know what's funny about my last one?
What?
It's called the Taco Bell Strangler.
Oh, I love Taco Bell.
Me too.
Not so much Stranglers, so you know but what? I love Taco Bell.
To get in the vibe, to get in the zen, the mode, whatever you want to call it for this episode, I had to go to Taco Bell for lunch. And I took a picture of my bag in my car. Today I kept it light and easy. And I got a, it used to be called, I think, it's like a beefy, it's the beefy burrito with the tortillas.
Beefy melt burrito?
No, I think the beefy melt
because it has the strips in it?
Yes. Is that a beefy melt?
It used to be called beefy melt, I think, and now it's called something. Yeah,
like double beef burrito or something now.
Yeah.
But I got one of those, and I got a Doritos Locos taco.
Love it.
Usually, I've been getting the Cantina tacos because they're good. They're fire. The hard
still
shell.
I've
had the soft shell and the hard shell. They're both good, but I like the hard shell better. More flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And they do the grilled cheese on one side. And I usually don't like that on the burrito. Like, I don't like the grilled cheese on the soft tortilla because I feel like it's like too greasy, but it works for the hard shell.
Taco Bell's also like the best, cheapest place to get like
you know how much my lunch cost today?
$5
under.
That's even better.
It was like $3 because I used the app and I had a reward, so I got my taco for free. So I just paid $3 for the burrito, and I was like, hey, nice. $4 lunch. Well, the Taco Bell Strangler. So 20-year-old Shauna Hawk wasn't at work on February 19th, 1993, and that's when her mother, Sylvia Sumter, knew something was wrong.
Because she was actually a good employee and like went to work every day.
Yeah, she showed up when she was supposed to, and she wasn't there, so something's up. Well, Hawk, like we said, was regarded as a dependable part-time employee at her local Taco Bell in Charlotte, North Carolina, where she would fill in and pick up shifts to help her get through college, according to Joseph Grinker. When Shauna never showed up for dinner the night before on February 18th, her mom, Sylvia, thought her daughter had been asked to pick up a shift, so she didn't think much of it. But when she called the local Taco Bell to talk to her daughter, she asked where Shauna was, and the coworkers had no idea, except for one coworker.
What coworker was this?
The man who was later convicted of Shauna Hawk's murder and 10 other women's murders.
Oh, that motherfucker.
Exactly. It was her Taco Bell manager / friend, Henry Louis Wallace.
Oh my goodness.
And the most fucked up part is, as Shauna's mother is calling around to all her loved ones asking for help to try to find her, she had no idea that her daughter was laying dead in the home's downstairs bathroom. Yeah.
What? She was in the house.
Dead in the house. Yeah.
He strangled her in her own house.
At this point, Shauna was then the 28-year-old Henry's third known victim. Henry Wallace was dubbed as the Taco Bell Strangler, and he would go to prey on at least 8 other women before he got arrested in 1994.
In 1994, you said?
Yeah, he got arrested finally.
That's insane. I've never even heard of the Taco Bell Strangler.
Henry also got to know 2 other girls, Caroline and Betty, through a girlfriend who worked at a local Bojangles. So he started to branch out from Taco Bell and go to Bojangles.
Oh my goodness. This guy's a monster.
This murder spree caused backlash of the Charlotte Police Department, though. Because...
Why? They weren't doing their job?
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. A case study from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte states the accused police of being less diligent about investigating the murders because the victims were African American and generally lived and worked in working class areas of the city.
Oh my goodness, you didn't mention that. So the victims were African Americans, like all of them pretty much?
And the strangler.
And he was black too?
So it's like they didn't care enough to really do the hard work.
Yeah.
And this is in 1993. We were born. That's so sad.
We were alive during this. And yeah, that is sad. And it still happens today. Like a lot of minorities their cases don't get taken as serious.
No, and it's sad.
It's so unfortunate.
It shouldn't be that way.
No.
But after Henry Wallace was arrested in 1994, he was convicted and he received 9 death sentences.
Good for him. He deserves it.
So, it's safe to say that he is still on death row to this day. Sylvia, who is Shauna's mother, ended up going on to found the Mothers of Murdered Offspring, which is an organization to honor her daughter, and the group seeks to support families through the cycle of grief and devastation, which comes with losing a loved one.
Well, at least something good came out of it, and they were able to found that program, because that's probably helped a lot of other people.
That's the only thing that I found common in my killing, my fast... Alright. The most common denominator I found with doing my fast food chaos research was that in every killing, at least there was something good to come of it, whether it was the person confessing and finally closing the case, or the person's family planting a tree or starting an organization. So at least something positive came from a negative.
And at least the victims in your case had some sort of closure. Because like with the Burger Chef murders, like they think they know who did it, but there was never really any justice served in that case.
Yeah, they didn't really convict anybody.
No.
Yeah. But those are my 3 killings or fast food chaos.
Those are really good. I definitely want to do another episode where we take a deep dive into crimes that have to do with fast food, because there's surprisingly a lot. There's old crimes, new crimes. I mean, there's stuff constantly happening that's surrounding fast food, and I'm like, what in the world?
It's insane,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and some of these, like the one I'm about to tell you, no one gets murdered. Okay, so it's a better story to end on, a more lighthearted story to end on.
Yeah.
It's quite hilarious. So, and it happened about an hour and a half from where we're from, in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Even better.
I've been to Johnson City many times. That's where
the Hot Topic is.
Yeah, that's where the nearest Hot Topic is. And I would go there. My mom had to drive me there.
School shopping.
Yeah, school shopping every year, in middle school and high school. So I've been to Johnson City many times. But anyways, we're going to Arby's.
Oh, curly fries. I like those from Arby's. That's the only fast food restaurant that really has curly fries. So when you asked me earlier what type of fries I liked, it depends on the restaurant. So
Arby's, do you like Arby's fries and the cheese sauce?
I do like I don't get the cheese sauce, but I get a beef and cheddar with horseradish.
No, the horsey sauce is so good. I forgot about that.
I love horseradish. I'm weird.
So, this is it's one of the dumbest stories I think I've ever heard. So, these 2 women, right? And they look like they're middle-aged women. And
so us?
No, a little older.
Okay,
like
so
our mom's
40s,
age.
50s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this Arby's had recently been remodeled. And I guess they had some kind of artwork hanging in the lobby that just spoke to these women. And they were like, I gotta have it.
They couldn't get enough. They needed it.
Yeah, this Arby's art was speaking to them. And so they hatched
I'm like, how many times do they go to this Arby's to see this art?
It was probably
before
like
they were like, we're gonna make a plan.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it just took one time. Maybe it was just that amazing.
Maybe
I don't know.
What do they say? Love at first sight.
Love at first sight, yes. So these two women hatch this plan. One of them's like, I'll distract the workers by ordering food at a fast food restaurant.
Good idea.
Great plan. Yeah.
Great idea.
She's like, I'll distract them and order food while you take the artwork off the wall and just walk out with it. It's that easy.
Just steal the painting. Do it.
Yeah. It would have been an okay plan, but the woman that decided to pay for the food instead of using cash paid with a credit or debit card. One of those.
Dumb ass.
Yeah. And so they were able to track her down because of her name on the credit card. The two women were caught and they were both charged with theft over $500 because apparently this artwork it was two pieces of artwork, and it was like a still life of pears. And I'm saying pears with a P, not bears with a B.
Two pears.
Yeah. It's a still life of pears, the fruit in a wooden frame, and a piece of metal wall art.
They just had to. I think they were on meth. They had to have the pears. I do like pears. I miss the pear tree.
Yeah, we used to have a pear tree in our grandpa. I remember I'd go grab pears and have him pill the pear.
Yeah, so good.
I wouldn't eat the pilling.
So he had what? Peach trees, pear trees.
He had all kinds. I think he tried to grow a banana tree one time, but it didn't work.
Yeah. No, it failed. But I do miss those pears. But a pear painting is not the same as eating one. Like,
yeah, I don't want to stare at some pears. Like,
no, a still life of pears.
A still life of pears. Like,
so did they ever get caught?
Yeah, they caught them and they charged them with theft over $500, both of them.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
They got in trouble for their wrongdoings.
Yeah.
Be a good, decent human.
What you should do instead of stealing it is just ask the Arby's where they got it from and then buy your own.
See, yeah, exactly. Don't be a moocher.
Yeah.
I love doing episodes like this.
Yeah, it's fun. So in other news, we are taking a break. Surprise, surprise.
Another one.
Yeah. We are going to be back with new episodes in July. We are taking a break because Andrea is getting ready to go on a trip. I'm getting ready to go on a trip.
I'm getting ready to come to Virginia.
Which I can't wait.
For a weekend. Yes, we'll get to hang out. And then we're both leaving to go on separate trips the following week. So it's a busy end of the April and whole month of May because that's my birthday. So
yeah. Where are you going on your trip? I mean, I know, but tell the people.
I'm going to see our cousin Justin and his band 49 Winchester. They're opening for represent Russell County. But I'm going to see 49 Winchester open for Tyler Childers on Friday in Nashville, and then going to Supercross the next day in Nashville.
I'm so jealous.
And then coming home. Both. And where will you be?
Well, at the same time that you're going to be doing that, I'm going to be in Kentucky seeing Tom Green live comedy show.
Nice. Off the hook.
Off the hook.
Jimmy was off the
hook. But we're going to Tom Green show, and then we are going ghost hunting at Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Ooh, spooky.
So I'm going to be spending like 8 hours in, because we're doing a tour, like a 2-hour tour, and then 6 hours of investigating time. It's a public investigation because it's like $1,000 or more to rent out the whole place. So there'll be other people there, but the place is massive. So I still feel like we'll be able to get
secluded.
Yeah, we'll still be able to get a good investigation, I'm hoping. We bought a bunch of new equipment, which I can't wait to try out.
And if you want to,
use
our code.
I'll put the link down below where you can get your own ghost hunting equipment as well from the Ghost Stop. And they're also located in Virginia, our good old home state.
Yeah, represent. We gotta keep it local. We gotta keep it where we're from.
Yes, we ordered.
Love to hear it.
We ordered some equipment from there that I'm anxious to try out. It was our first time purchasing from the Ghost Stop, but I've heard of them for years and I've been wanting to purchase from them. So I'm really anxious to try it out, and I'll let you know how the equipment goes. But if you want your own, I will post a link down below so you can check it out. But yeah, I'm going to be ghost hunting at Waverly Hills Sanatorium. I wanted to go there since I was 10 years old because I'm a weird kid. I'm pretty excited.
I can't wait to see what you capture, though.
I know. I'm really hoping that we capture something because my husband,
I'm sure the spirits will be on our side.
He is a skeptic. So if we come back and he believes wholeheartedly in ghosts, mission freaking accomplished. Yeah, I'm a skeptic too. I believe, but I don't believe every single thing is paranormal. But very excited. But we're both taking trips, and then we are going to be working on.
We're working on podcast stuff, interviews.
Yes. But we are going to have a lot more episodes later in the later half of the year, as we've mentioned. So there's a lot more to come.
Bigger and better.
Yeah. So keep following us. Stay tuned. Tell your friends.
Cult Follow Crimes us. And Spirits. Yeah. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Stay spooky.
And we did the damn thing. Thank you very much.
Did the damn thing.
We'll be back in July.